Let's plunge headfirst into this whirlwind of wild misconceptions. Buckle up, because we're debunking 10 everyday myths that have been fooling us for generations. I'll sprinkle in some extra flair, a dash of science spice, and enough aha moments to keep you hooked till the end. We're talking taller tales, juicier backstories, and that satisfying pop when truth bursts the bubble. Ready? Number 10. The infamous sugar rush scam. Picture this. A harried parent at a playground, eyes bulging as their toddler morphs from cherub to caffeine-fueled demon after one lollipop. "It's the sugar!" they cry, convinced sweets are the secret sauce behind every sugar-fueled sprint. But hold the sprinkles. Science served up a double-blind smackdown in the lab. Researchers snuck real sucrose into half the sippy cups and sugar substitutes into the rest, blinding both the bouncy kids and their eagle-eyed guardians to the lineup. The bombshell? Not a whisker of difference. The candy crew romped no rowdier than the placebo pack. Energy levels flatlined across the board. Yet, the moment parents suspected the sweet stuff was afoot, their perception went into hyperdrive, like wearing rose-colored glasses that turned every cartwheel into a catastrophe. A single skip rope? Sugar surge. A burst of belly laughs? Classic crash incoming. This paranoia traces its sticky roots to the groovy 1970s, when a trailblazing doctor spotlighted food dyes and preservatives as the real puppet masters of pint-sized pandemonium. Moms and dads devoured the theory like hotcakes, desperate for a villain to blame. Fast forward to any chaotic birthday blowout. That wall-bouncing wonder? It's the helium balloons, the buddy bonanza, and that pre-party nap sabotage, not the innocent icing on the cake. Swap in a zero-sugar sponge, and you'd still have a horde of hyper-hobbits high on hype alone. Who knew parental placebo could pack such a punch? Number 9. Your brain's no lazy layabout. It's a non-stop neural nightclub. Ah, the seductive siren song of the "we only use 10% of our brains" bunkum. It's as believable as a seagull swearing off the sky, yet it spawned sci-fi spectacles where a rogue pill flips the switch, transforming desk drones into daredevil Einsteins juggling quantum quirks and quadruple backflips. Popcorn-munching masses lap it up, but let's crank the MRI spotlight. Your cranium's a ceaseless circus, synapses sparking like fireworks from forehead to brainstem, every second of every day. Even in the velvet hush of slumber, it's scripting symphonies, orchestrating oxygen flows, fine-tuning your ticker's tango, and unspooling that mortifying memory of your high school interpretive dance disaster. Fun fact, this walnut-sized wizard weighs just 2% of your frame, but devours 20% of your daily calories. Like a mischievous mini-fridge that's always raiding the snack drawer. If 9/10 were truly twiddling thumbs, Mother Nature, that ultimate editor, would have blue-penciled it out of existence millennia ago. She's allergic to evolutionary excess. But zap even a pinky-sized parcel with injury, and the fallout's ferocious. Speech stutters, senses scramble, proving every nook's in the know. The myth's murky origin? A Victorian-era Harvard heavyweight lamented humanity's untapped genius, only for some sloppy scribe to garble it into the 10% truth tall tale. Next time you zone out, remember, your mind's not slacking. It's secretly solving the universe's riddles while you scroll cat videos. Number 8. Those Empire State Building penny plummets, more prank than peril. Imagine the urban legend's grip. A careless tourist flicks a copper cent from the 102nd floor, and kapow, it spears a sidewalk stroller like a meteorite from monetary madness. Dramatic? Deliciously so. Deadly? Dream on. Gravity's got gusto, sure, yanking that Abe Lincoln likeness into a freefall frenzy, velocity vaulting with every vanishing floor. But enter the unsung hero. Atmospheric pushback. Air's no accommodating void. It's a bustling brigade of molecules that buffets the bullet, flipping the flimsy flap into a fluttering frisbee. Clock it. After a mere 50-foot drop, drag dials it down to a pokey 25 mph, slower than your grandma's grocery getter on a Sunday spin. The sting? Equivalent to a sibling's spiteful snap, irksome but innocuous. Crave carnage? Chuck it into a cosmic vacuum, and it'd whistle past 200 mph, a lethal little comet. But planet-side, the real ricochet risks lurk in loftier launches, like those streamlined Bic pens, aerodynamic and apt to arrow into ankles with alarming accuracy. So next time you're towering over Times Square, pocket that penny. The only hole it'll punch is in your superstition. Number 7. Lightning's no one-and-done diva. It's a relentless repeat offender. Fool me once, shame on thunder. Fool me twice, myth busted. That folksy fable of bolts boycotting reruns? Rubbish. Gaze at the Empire State Building's spire. It shrugs off 25 sizzling strikes annually, a steel sentinel thumbing its nose at the storm gods. Then there's Roy Sullivan, the folklore-worthy forest ranger zapped 7 times between 1942 and 78, christened the human lightning rod after outlasting enough amperage to light a small city. He emerged from each electrostatic embrace with singed hair and a taller tail, but by bolt 4, his buddies bolted during brewing tempests, leaving him to solo the sizzle. Why the sequel spree? Lightning loves landmarks. Tall trees in treeless tracks or solitary silos become storm sirens, siren songs for successive surges. And don't get comfy under clear skies. Bolts from the blue barrel in from miles away, ambushing azure afternoons with zero warning. One heartbeat, you're picnicking in paradise. The next, you're playing unwilling game of tag with a trillion-volt tempter. Nature's not polite, she's persistent, so skip the smug shelter assumptions. Number 6. Vikings, those ferocious fjordfarers, left the horns hanging in the longhouse. Fast forward your fever dreams of bellowing berserkers barreling into battle with buffalo branch headgear. Pure pageantry, penned by 19th century costume conjurers crafting Wagnerian operas. They craved cinematic clash, so they slapped on stag antler spectacles for stage thunder, unwittingly unleashing a millennium-spanning style swindle. Practicality? Please. Those protrusions were perfect pommels for foes to yank, turning charges into chokeholds, or ideal for impaling on alder branches during midnight melees. Excavations echo the error. Unearthed Viking visors were vanilla affairs, ventilated iron domes with perhaps a proboscis protector, built for brawls not bravado. Horned holdouts? Denmark dished up some from 3,000 years prior. Bronze Age bling for rituals, regal as a runestone tiara, not raid-ready. Opera outfitters ogled these relics and opined, Eureka, epic Viking vibe. Cue the cascade. Cartoons, comics, and classroom dioramas forever forge the fallacy. Today, try donning deer prongs to a duel. You'd be disarmed in a dash. Vikings valued victory over vanity. Their helmets hummed humility. Number 5. That razor rebellion making your whiskers wilder? Total shave-and-a-hair fallacy. We've all fielded the folklore. Buzz your beard, and it rebounds bushier, bolder, a blacker thicket taunting your trim. Balderdash on a bick. Shaving's just a stylistic shear, lopping locks to level ledges, like buzzsawing a sequoia to a splintery stump instead of its feathery fringe. The regrowth ruse? Those truncated tips feel tougher, textured like tiny toothpicks, tricking your touch into thinking volumes vaulted. But behold, the barbershop of biology. Decades of dermatological deep dives declare it drivel. Zero zing on zest, shade, or sprint. Your strand's saga is scripted in your chromosomes, uneditable by edge. No Gillette gambit rewires your roots. If it worked wonders, cue the cue ball crew's compulsive cranium crops. We'd peddle Barbasol as the baldness banisher, with infomercials starring shorn celebs. Yet behold, Jeff Bezos, billionaire blade baron, still sporting a scalp as sleek as his spaceship, proof positive it's all perception's prank. Run your fingers over fresh fuzz, and the friction fibs. It's yesterday's yarn, just jagged at the jaw. Number 4. Dive in post-dinner. Your belly won't betray you to the deep. Remember Mom's maritime mandate? Swim? Stomach full? Wait 30 ticks. or cramps will cramp your style straight to Davy Jones. This soggy superstition soaked society so thoroughly, even veteran lifeguards whistled it like a watery whistle. Yet the evidence pool's bone dry. Not one notarized nautical nightmare traces to a pre-plunge plate. The pseudoscience pitch. Feast floods veins to viscera for victual vanquish, famishing flailing flappers and fostering fatal flexes. Fiddlesticks. Your physiology's a prodigious performer, partitioning plasma for paunch processing and paddle power sans hitch. Sure, scarf a surf and turf supersize, then sprint into strokes, and a twinge might tickle, like lacing up for laps after lasagna. But the American Red Cross, red letter rule keepers, rubber stamps the splash, safe as a kiddie pool. Elite aquanauts actually nosh mid-miles, fueling flips with fruit and fuel gels. Pro tip, park the pepperoni paradise pre-power play, but otherwise, cannonball away. Your guts got the guts. Number 3, your head's no heat-hogging hoodlum leaking 50% of your warmth like a faulty furnace. Cap up, kiddo, or you'll catch your chill in the cranium. That frosty fable's frozen in family lore, courtesy of a crusty Cold War commando codex claiming 40-45% of calories combust via coconut. Catch? Their lab rats were bundled in blizzards from brow to boot, bearing only the bean. Naturally, the noggin nabbed the lion's share of the leak. Your skull's a scant 10% of your skin's square footage, so it squanders a symmetric sliver at most. Thermodynamics theorem. Exposure's the emperor. Equalizing escapes from elbows to ears. Why the wintry wail from your whiskers? Vascular velvet. Blood's bustling bazaar just beneath, broadcasting brisk blasts. But bare biceps? They'll bleed BTUs with equal elan. The kernel of cold truth twinkles for tinies. Tots tops tower proportionally, turbocharging top-heavy thaw, so beanies for the brood make merry sense. Adults? Au naturel arms ache as acutely. Next frostbite fiasco, fault the fingers first. Number 2, goldfish, those glassy globe gliders, boast brains belying the 3-second memory mockery. Bull-brained bumblers forgetting their fins? Nonsense on a noodle. These neon navigators are nimble nerds. Scientists schooled them in submerged sudokus, mazes they mastered and memorized for moons on end, shortcutting like savants. Facial finesse? They finger you at flakefall. Ahoy, it's that crumb-chucker Carl, reliable as the ripple. Trickster tutors? They've tutored them to torpedo through titanium hoops or header a fin football like mini Messi's. Auditory aces even parse playlists, parsing polkas from punk rock with pea-sized processors. Imagine, a thimble-thought think tank tackling tunes and trajectories, outpacing our own recall in relative real estate. Neuro-nerds now net these finny fellows for flashbacks into forget-me-nots. Goldfish gray matter might goldmine human hippocampus hacks. Who knew the family aquatic was secretly schooling us? Number 1. Chomped gums gut grenade, festering for 7 years. Swallow that swindle. It's a chewy chestnut chewed to char. Gulp a gob, and it gambles your gullet like gnocchi, gregarious but non-gregarious to gastric grinders. Indestructible? Indeed, but it hurtles through your highway like hull-less hullabaloos, corncobs cruising carefree. Evacuation express, 24 to 48 hours tops, no nautical nodding in nooks. Your innards are an industrious impeller, inching ingestibles inexorably onward in a peristaltic parade. Horror yarns of havoc? Hyperbole for habitual hoovers? Unless you're a gum-gobbling glutton, your track's traffic flows fine. Humanity's hankered on hardy hunks since antiquity. Hellenic hustlers hawked mastic from mastic trees. Mesoamerican munchers mulled chickle sap. No necropolis of 9-year navel gazers. Pavement? That's the perpetual perch. Wads weld to walkways for wickedly long. But belly? Banish the bogeyman. Whew. That's our myth-busting marathon, laced with laughs and lightning bolts of lore. Craving more misconception massacres? Subscribe for the sequel spree. Your curiosity's countdown continues.